A while back, a fellow YouTube user suggested I watch the Zeitgeist movie. So I went to their website and I watched it. And it was very thought-provoking. There were a lot of things on there that I found very similar to a lot of things that I've come upon in the research that I've done on the internet and other sources. So when I saw this clip on YouTube, I decided to watch it again, and the more I watch it, there's some things that I feel need to be commented on. It's not really that I want to prove or disprove the things that they say, because I know that there's a lot of truth in a lot of the things that are said in this movie, but there's a lot of error also. And my concern is that the people that watch this, I think they need to watch how they're perceiving it. For instance, are the resources provable? I mean, can you look up the things that they say and actually prove whether or not they're true? Are they quoted out of context? The resources that they cite, are they reputable resources? Even something that is a reputable resource, though, you have to look at the author of the resource and see if there's a bias generally in what they write and things like that. Another thing that I noticed is a lot of the references are taken out of context. For instance, they bring up the number 12 a lot, and they cite that, and they cite similarities between Old Testament prophets and Jesus and the first, in the New Testament and things like that, and that's not really proof of anything, just because things are similar, and it also includes the mythological similarities. How many coincidences are too many coincidences? Well, I mean, that's hard to say, but it's hardly proof of anything. Specifically, this video response is about the religion portion. So another thing they cited was about Bethlehem. That was an obvious one where they took something way out of context. Christ being born in Bethlehem was actually supposed to be the fulfillment of an Old Testament prophecy, and Bethlehem was an actual city in Judea at the time of Christ, and that's verifiable and provable, and so it's not symbolism or allegory, and a lot of things in this movie are like that. I think the main things is our approach to these types of movies. Should we are we open-minded? Are we truly open-minded about what we're watching, whether it could be true or not? To people that consider themselves Christian, the majority of people that consider themselves Christian would say that they prove their beliefs by the Bible. And I want to challenge everyone that believes that they base their beliefs on the Bible to actually read the Bible and see if they match up. Also, see if the things that you believe are just traditions that were passed down, because there are many traditions that have been passed down that are not biblical in origin at all. So another thing for people that consider themselves to be Christian, research the origins of the doctrines that you believe. There are certain doctrines that have been perpetuated and are very mainstream that are just not biblical, such as, for instance, the rapture doctrine. The rapture doctrine wasn't even proposed until, I think, the 1800s. Also, concepts sometimes have been passed down that aren't biblical. For instance, there are 4 different words in the Bible that are translated into one English word, hell, and those words mean different things. One of the words does actually mean fire or punishment, but some of the other ones actually mean just the grave or death, or the place of death, or the place of the dead. So people need to research what they believe and prove what they believe. Now, to people that are, say, agnostics and atheists, I've been agnostic in the past, and I understand the mindset, and I think it's great because they're actually questioning the things they believe. I would say the same thing to an agnostic or atheist that I would say to a Christian, have you proven what you believe? Do you have proof and things to back up? Real proof, not just conjecture to what you believe. Are you finding fault with, say, like biblical accounts because of traditions that were passed down? For instance, you may see Christmas and see that it was actually a perpetuation of the old Saturnalia festival. Well, Christmas isn't in the Bible anywhere. Neither is Easter or Halloween or any of the commonly observed, quote, Christian holidays. So you may be discrediting a religion based on something that's not biblical. So I would say look into that. Certain things being taken out of context also, like they say the three kings are astrological symbols, but actually the Bible never says there were three of anybody, and they weren't kings either. They were magi, they were wise men, and they brought kingly gifts, and it's extremely out of context to try to apply that in some type of Gnostic symbolism or something like that. Another thing that I think we all need to ask ourselves is the basic point is, are we being honest about what we believe? Things like this are provocative, and I think they're good for that reason. But at the same time, when we see something provocative, it makes us bristle up and want to defend our beliefs, and we won't allow real information to sink in sometimes because we're so busy trying to defend our beliefs because we're fearful we'll be proven wrong. But I think we have to be careful about that. So I'm speaking to anybody, whether you're agnostic, atheist, Christian, Hindu, whatever. Prove your beliefs. Are we willing to admit that we might be wrong? Do we think maybe we may have more understanding than everybody else, or maybe we already know everything, so we're not even going to listen? Well, then there's no debate because you've already made up your mind. Might as well go spend your time somewhere else. Discussion is good if you approach it in an open-minded way. Emotions cloud judgment, so try to approach something in a non-emotional way is helpful to get to the truth. As far as this movie goes, though, I think that the spirit of it is it's an expose. It's trying to expose things that the producers considered to be cover-ups or even lies, or even worse, things that are perpetuating control of the masses and things like that. And there's no doubt that religion's been used to do that in history, all types of religion. To discredit religion, period, because of something like that, I think would be a little hasty. But many of the facts in this movie are true, and some of them are actually verifiable, although many of them are verifiable facts that are taken out of context and applied in a way that doesn't actually make sense if you step back and look at it. It's a very smoothly produced video, and I enjoyed watching it. I enjoy watching things like that because it makes you think and study, and I enjoy that. So, but it is skewed in its approach. It's got a definite agenda, and it's probably got more than one agenda. And I think most people, the thing that concerns me is most people that watch something like this are either too lazy or too sure they're correct already to even research the truth. So if you come to it with a bias of, say, Christianity, you may just go whatever, and you just might go on about your business. But if you come to it with a bias against Christianity, you're like, see, there it's proven. Well, it's not proven, and it's not disproven, but I think it's a good place to start some research. And I enjoyed the movie. I think that it can be a good thing because it's provocative and leads to discussion. So anyways, that's just some of the comments I wanted to make. This is my first video response to anything, and made it on my cheap webcam here, and I hope this lends some insight maybe to some people that watch this video. Thanks.